Hey, Kelsey, it's so great to get a chance to meet you and talk to you and ask you about this MasterChef table because, we watch you guys prepare all these awesome things and we're like, that looks awesome, but I can never try it. So, is that sort of what you guys are doing with Grubhub?
That's exactly what we're doing. Yes, it's been, I feel like after 11, almost 12 seasons, it's finally happening. Viewers can actually eat our food. And so, yes, it's super exciting. It's, as a fan, it was something I always wanted to be able to do, is to actually eat their food. And now as a master chef, it's really exciting that I can get my food out to the masses and really show them what my flavors are, what my personality is, and actually prove to people that I can cook.
We know you can cook that. Yeah. So what, describe as just like a person sitting at home that would be like, oh my God, I want something from a master chef. How do we get it and how do we order and what kind of choices are there?
Yes. So everything is going to be obviously delivery only. So you can go to the Grubhub app and you go to MasterChef Table. So that's going to be kind of the restaurant name. You go to the MasterChef Table and there will be 11 different dishes that are on the menu from 4 MasterChef contestants and winners. So myself, Dorian, Duran, and Michael Silverstein. So there's 4 of us that have contributed 11 different dishes, and you can get anything from appetizers to sides to entrees. There's all different options. And think of, when you look at the menu, think of all home run dishes. You read that and you're like, oh my God, that sounds good. You read the next one, you're like, oh wait, but that sounds really good too. Yeah. So things that really pack a punch, they all have huge flavor, pretty cheesy and goodness, things that, most people across the country are going to absolutely love and really show our personality as master chefs. So approachable food, but then with that elevated master chef twist to it. So people, when they eat it, they definitely oh, okay, I get why this is from the MasterChef table. So it's so exciting. Especially this day and age, we've been through a lot with restaurants and everything. This is, I think, the way of the future, kind of these ghost kitchens and the way people are ordering food now. So I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. And so what can somebody specifically wanted to get something that you've made? What are you going to be putting out there possibly?
So I have 2 dishes on the menu and they're awesome. So selfishly speaking, one is a fried chicken sandwich, but it is a maple and cayenne spiced bacon with a fried chicken that has hot honey drizzled all over it. And then there is a jalapeno and cilantro creamy coleslaw. And then a spicy mayo, which I have specifically directed them that needs to be dripping off the sandwich. So yeah, the chicken sandwich of all chicken sandwiches.
Yes.
And then my other one is also one of my favorites, is a elote style corn with skewered shrimp over top. So think really summer light, but still super satisfying and flavorful. Elotes are literally my favorite thing in the world. I don't know why, I just love them. So, corn, mayo, lime zest, cayenne, so good. So it's going to be great for summer. And yeah, I think they're really nice too, kind of different offerings, but both have a ton of flavor and show a really kind of elevated style.
Yeah. And so is this live now or when will this go live and where it's not national yet, is it?
It's not national yet. It's going to launch in kind of major markets first, starting on June 1st. So they're thinking New York City, Chicago, think bigger markets first. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the year, they're going to slowly roll it out throughout the entire country. So eventually everyone will be able to get their hands on this. So we're just telling people we don't have strict timelines yet, but all of us through our social medias and websites, as well as through Grubhub, the app and everything, will be announcing when everything is going to be launching in each individual city.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Something else that's exciting is you have a new restaurant.
I have a new restaurant. So it couldn't be perfect timing for all of this because not only is my food now going out nationally, but people here in Indianapolis who've supported me get to eat my food on a daily basis here locally. And it's been so fun and such a big learning experience for me to get the opportunity to learn kind of the restaurant world and how that all works, and to be able to, curate dishes and get them to the masses and kind of build my resume and build some street cred in the culinary world. As a master chef, we have this awesome platform and we did something really cool, but we don't have a resume to back it up. We weren't professional chefs beforehand. And now I am jumping like head first into the culinary world. This is my full-time job. This is like the legacy I want to lead. But I need some street cred. So this is inspo has been like kind of that kind of launching pad where I can learn and just really get my food out to people. As well as I'm actually also writing a book. So I have a cookbook that's gonna be coming out too. So all of those exciting things are, kind of happening that I feel like I'm really seeing, my career take off and, have the backing of MasterChef and the brand. And it's really exciting.
Yeah. And also just like going up in front of Gordon Ramsay would freak me out so much. Like, and you're a strong woman, but I mean, especially, not having like the restaurant, like, was it a little terrifying or was it a little bit cooler and chill?
No, it was terrifying. Oh my gosh. Especially that first dish, when you go up to try to win your apron, you're walking in to this panel of judges. Gordon Ramsay's just sitting there in this like dark room. It's like so ominous. And you're just like, here's my food. Like, and you're just terrified because you don't know what they're going to say. And then they eat it. Like, for example, I ate mine, loved it. We're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And even throughout the season, they keep eating your dish and say like, I would serve this in my restaurant. This is Michelin star level. And I'm like, no, you're just saying that. It's not that good. Like, and I think that's the hardest thing is to kind of build that confidence that, maybe my food actually is that. It is that good. And I think even it wasn't until I came back here and started doing more kind of like high-end private dinners and cooking for more people and where I get that feedback from other people that they were like, no, this is insane. This is so good. That I really started to believe it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm actually good at this. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And I love sharing it with people. Like, I love being on camera and talking to people. And I really just like feel the energy and feel that like I'm now doing exactly what I should be doing. That's wonderful. And also, of course, you went into this experience and you slaughtered yourself on camera and just, and I read that you said it was way worse than what we knew. Yeah. It was pretty bad. I had cut straight through the bone. And we didn't know about it. And I had to have a full on like big reconstructive surgery when I got back here. And at the point too, I was like also 30 weeks pregnant.
For sure. Yeah.
So it was a whole ordeal. And so, yeah, it was definitely tough to get through. And I think it helped and hurt me in ways, it kind of like, it helped me just like persevere through it. And just, I just had to keep my blinders on and just keep going. And there's no other way to put it. I think, us tough women, we learn how to do that.
Right. Do you think being a mom, sort of helped you be like, okay, I'm in pain, but
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. We as moms, just like, we multitask all the time. We fight through discomfort, through illnesses, through you name it, because we have other things we have to do. There's that like Instagram thing going on about like you don't have to do it or something. And then they're like, well, who the fuck is going to do it? Like, who else is going to fucking do it or whatever? And that's totally what it is. It's like, no, I have to, like, there's no one else to do it. And so I think that's just innate in us. What, once we have children, is just, there's a goal and you have to accomplish it. And, I went out there and left my family. And so like to do this, and it wasn't just to be like, oh, this is fun. Like I had a goal in mind. And so I certainly wasn't going to like disappoint them or my husband, who was, slaving away at home. And so, yeah, you just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before I let you go, I do have to ask you, I read something that is so common for moms. It made me feel better. You have picky eaters at home. I mean, and you hide the cauliflower, you do all that. Anything that you've kind of been cooking up maybe to get around the picky eating, being a chef?
Yeah. So a little trick, and this actually, I feel like it's hard to hide food. I'm not gonna lie there. I like can't hide things in dishes because kids are like, no, mac and cheese is what it is. Like if you do it differently, like nice try.
Yeah.
But I've noticed kids are way more willing to eat food when it's actually not theirs. So like my kids, they always want to try what mom's eating. Like they think that's really fun, is to eat mom's food. So like when I make dinner, I always like make my plate and then I just put like a little extra cup of like what I have in like a little extra bowl to the side. And then they're always like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, why don't you try it? Like, and they always end up like at least trying it. And I always tell them like, you don't have to like it. Like, if you don't like it, that's totally fine. And they don't have to eat it. And eventually after a couple like times of doing that, all of a sudden they just like, they pick it up and they learn to love it. So I think that's a great trick, is that like your kids want what you are eating. But they don't necessarily want it on their plate. They want like the option to have it if they're like curious. But I just with anything, like I always think about myself, how would you feel if I was like, eat that, like as an adult, I'd be like, excuse me, like, no, like, and believe me, my 5-year-old is way more opinionated than I am. So, if I try to force feed or something, it's not going to happen. So we just have to kind of accept children as children, and do the best we can. And when all else fails, I blend everything into a smoothie and they drink it. And then they've had all their vegetables and all their fruit and all their protein for the day. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. You can have whatever you want. I don't care.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Smoothies are great.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today. That's a good hack. I'm going to have to, I have kids in their 20s that are still like, I am not going to eat. My daughter bragged that she had a blueberry muffin. I'm like, okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, we cannot wait to try this, the Grubhub, the Master Table, and your cookbook. We'll be looking for that soon too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.